Okay, some little morning rambling talks about walking and the path will appear. I have no idea what I'm about to say, but we shall figure it out. And I've got 3 iced coffees in me, so. A lot of my life up until this point has felt like running and jumping off of a cliff and building your wings on the way down, and a lot of it felt like not even jumping off the cliff, it just felt like the mountain was crumbling and it was like, you better jump. And over the past year, I was like, that is unhealthy and very unsustainable because my nervous system is always in a state of like, but also when I look back at so many things, I don't know how, like, had I waited until things were like right or the right timing or like somebody gave me permission to, that would have never happened, right? I kind of just had to jump and do the thing, even though there was like no reason or sense behind it. But I was just like, I know I should just have to go do it and figure it out when I get there. So over the past year, I feel like my life was getting to a place that I was like, okay, things are happening. The things I've always dreamed about are happening. And it feels so fucking empty. Like, so empty, which is what the whole album Roaring 20s is about, like with Sick Rich Girl. Like this idea of like, I'd always seen these things from a distance and been like, I can't wait to be a part of certain things. And then was experiencing it and I was like, is this the fucking feeling? Like, am I going to keep building up a bigger and bigger life for myself and it's just gonna feel like exponentially more empty? But then I also was like, I don't buy into this idea that like, oh, it's lonely at the top of this and this and that. No, I don't believe that. So over the past year, if you've been following me for a while, put out music since like 2016, took that down, put out music in 2018 again. I was releasing music and then had a bunch of stuff come out in 2021, Build a Ship that did really good on Canadian radio, that was cool. And then kind of end of 2022, but like mostly 2023, I was just like, I need to take a step back. I need to just like, I feel like I right now am like this skyscraper that is about to expand into more skyscrapers, but like something's not right with this construction. So even though it took so long to build up this fucking skyscraper, I need to just like put up scaffolding everywhere and actually go back and fix the foundation. And it's really scary because you're like, I just spent my whole life building this building and now I'm gonna take it down. And that's literally what this past year felt like. It's gonna take the whole thing down. That was like 2023. And then 2024 was still a lot of taking it down. And now I'm at the roots and I'm like, this is a shitty foundation. I'm not loving any of this. I would really just like to not have to look at any of this foundation. But instead it was like, just sit with it. Look at it. And then surprisingly, it just starts rebuilding itself on its own in a secure, stable way. So, the skyscrapers are going back up, okay? And it's gonna be cities. Not just one skyscraper, cities, skylines, beautiful, everywhere. But I've also been like, I need to like not be in this constant state of like panic and survival mode, right? Which I feel like I've done in London. I got flowers on my table. It was my birthday. But like I've made my place beautiful here, which is amazing because like in New York, so much of my living was like, I never decorated anything. I never spent time in my home. I was always out working like multiple different jobs. And even here, I'm still kind of like go, go, go all the time. But was like, let me make myself a sanctuary. Anyways, I've got this tour going, right? And what's been so interesting with it is like, I feel like for years I've been waiting for like, someone will bring me on as a support actor, I'll get these shows, or once I can prove that I can do this, then I'll like start touring something, or then I'll start doing this. And this past year, when I was like kind of getting ready to release this album I've recorded, just like a lot of things, I was kind of like, I just have to do it. Like there's like, it feels like there's this huge gap between who I am right now and who I want to be. And I can sense that gap. And in my head, I think, oh, it's going to be this transition and I'm going to suddenly become that person. And sometimes I'm like, no, I think you just have to claim it. You just have to be like, fuck all y'all, this is me now. And then, so yeah, there were a lot of things of like not being sure with it. obviously talked with Charlie, our Charlie dog. He gave me lots of good advice. But he was like, tour, get out there, we're doing this shit. And I did. So I was like, essentially what I've been doing since last October, November, contacting so many venues. I was planning originally to do like a Canadian and American tour. So like I've been messaging venues, reaching out to them on social media, emailing them, trying to get dates going. A lot of times venues like don't respond until like your fourth time emailing them, following up. Sometimes they're like, oh, we actually don't even use that email, we use this. A lot of times they're like, start booking the process of like, here's what this, and then suddenly just stop responding. Sometimes they seem into it and then they're like, oh yeah, you have to rent out the whole place and it's this amount of money, which I was like, I'm not doing that front, no. But it's been working. It's been working. You saw my tour announcement, right? But even with that, it's interesting. I was just like, there's still some dates that I like haven't confirmed venues for, but I know the venues I want. I would like if they would respond to me, but was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna say I'm doing the thing, and then the path will appear. And that's kind of what this whole year has been like, you just need to walk. We're not jumping off a cliff anymore. I mean, maybe we are, but maybe I'm not. Right now, rather than feeling like I'm falling off a cliff and I'm about to smack into rock bottom and need to like build some wings immediately, I more so feel like I'm walking in a forest and I have no idea where I'm going, but like, it's beautiful. I'll just keep walking. I'll let it unfold. I get a little panicked sometimes, but like, it's okay. But it is interesting because like, obviously, and I know like, I think like Steve Jobs has said like, oh, all the dots connect when you look back, everything makes sense. But I think a lot of times it's like we get so stuck up on the how, like how it's gonna happen, or we do these things called like second desires. So like we have this main desire of I want to be like a performer or an artist doing this, and then we get so stuck up on the secondary desires of like, in order to do that, I need this thing, and then we focus all our attention on that thing, when really it's like, maybe you actually don't need that thing, you can go do this and ignore that thing, but stop giving this second desire all your attention. Yeah, anyways, it's just interesting because also along this way I like found an opening act or support act, and right away she was like, oh, why don't you also reach out to these venues, and gave me all the stuff that I couldn't find on the internet, and like I don't know certain towns, cities, whatever. So like I was like, oh, maybe that's like, maybe I actually have to do this backwards. Like rather than finding a venue, booking a show, and then going to find support acts, go and find the support acts and let them support you, which I've been doing. Like and also with this tour, I was like, I want women, non-binary, queer people, everyone that is not represented in the music industry. I want you to be like, I want to create the industry that I want to see more of, that actually represents the people of the world. And it's been amazing. So it's been, yeah, I don't know, it's just been cool. But I was just thinking about that this morning. Like, had I waited for like everything to fall in line, and even now, if I was like, I can't announce this stuff till everything falls in line, the dates would pass, the tour would be over, I would die. I wouldn't die, I will die, but like my life and our lives, if we're waiting for everything to get like lined up in order before we act on it, like it's done. So yeah, very much aware of like, walk and the path will appear. Or in my case, run a marathon.